Hi, I'm Rod Beasley. Today I'm going to be giving you an evaluation on the Kel-Tec 380. Now before I get started on that, I wanted to say that you don't have to take anybody's word on an evaluation. You should probably decide for yourself. And the best way to do that is to actually shoot the gun. How can you shoot the gun before you have the gun? Well, you go to a rental store, a place where they have a shooting range, they have guns to rent, like that. And that's a good way to do it. If that's unavailable in your area, then pretty much you have to go to a shooting club, find somebody that's got the similar weapon, say, hey, can I give you $5 or a box of ammo to let me shoot your gun or whatever like that? And that's a good way to get access to one too. Okay, first thing with the Kel-Tec 380 is it legal in your area? Now you're going to know this by going to a gun store in your area and asking them, hey, if I wanted to get a Kel-Tec 380, is it legal in this area? And they might say, well, yeah, it's legal if you carry it exposed. If you hide it in your pocket and you don't have a CCW permit, then that'd be illegal. So take their advice, because if they're in business, they're doing something right, because, boy, there's a lot of hoops to jump through when you're doing a gun business. Okay, so take extra caution in towns like San Francisco, New York City, and like that. Okay, as far as affordability, this gun is available to you at a range of prices. Now, for example, if you're buying it used, you might be able to buy one on a gun broker or auction arms for maybe $170 used. New, you might readily pay $275, $300 for it. But this is, in some people's minds, this is about the minimum amount of gun that you want to have for self-defense or self-protection. It's a great gun for being such a small, petite gun. Okay, let's see. After you've done your 150 round break-in, and that's taking the gun, loading it, and shooting it, and taking the gun and loading it and shooting it until you've fired 150, 200 rounds. You'll be able to ascertain, is your gun prone to jamming or whatever like that. Now, it's very normal for it to jam within the first 200 rounds, but if it jams like 3 times or 2 times or 1 time, well, you probably got a pretty good one, and then as you proceed on to shooting more rounds, it's going to smooth out even more. I tell people to save ammo, you might want to consider just taking the gun, and well, first off, let's show you that it is indeed empty in here. It is indeed empty in the chamber, and you're good to go. They say in the manual, don't trust the extractor, because like anything can break, anything can malfunction. There could be a bullet in the chamber, and if you don't check and make sure that it's empty, you could be getting ready to put a hole in your ceiling or your wall or whatever like that. All right, well, getting back to it here again. Reliability, pretty good. Excuse me. Gosh. I hope I can edit that out. Accuracy, this gun is pretty much a 7 to 12 yard self-defense pistol for concealed carry. Most people aren't capable of shooting at 50 yards. I saw there was a video on the internet, YouTube, of a guy shooting at 50 yards. And if he did well, that's fantastic. But that's kind of unusual and kind of rare. And if there were any other people around downrange, say like if you're trying to shoot a bad guy and there were any other people down there that you might possibly hit, that would be a real bad idea. Okay. Now, as far as accuracy, 7 to 12 yards is normal for this gun, or less. And if you decide that that's unacceptable to you, you can spend $100 and put a laser on the front of it, which is finger actuated. Comes on for 5 seconds when you stick your finger on the trigger, and that takes this gun out to like a 25-yard gun pretty readily. And maybe for that guy that shoots 50 yards with iron sights, maybe it'll make it a 55-yard gun for him. Okay, so in any case, getting back to it again, size and weight. This gun is so petite, you can take a regular sheet of paper, 8.5 by 11, fold it twice, and totally cover this gun. I mean, nothing sticks out. I'll turn it around and show you. Extra room all the way around. Now the actual size of this gun is probably posted on this piece of paper. No, yeah, that's right. It's actually 3.5. This is for the for a different gun. This is the actual size of this gun is 3.5 by 5 1/8, and it's about 3/4 of an inch thick at its widest point. Most of the gun is like 6/8 of an inch wide. It's very small, very petite, very concealable. You can carry this gun day in and day out. When you do carry it day in and day out, try to keep it in the same location all the time, so that if you ever do have to reach for it and grab for it, you won't be reaching at one spot and think, oh, today I put it in my other pocket. Oh, yeah, don't do that. You want to get in the habit of carrying your gun in the same location all the time, so that you have the reliability, because this gun is going to be so lightweight and easily concealable, you're going to forget you have it on, So you want it to be in the same place all the time. All right, getting back to the thing. Yeah, it's probably the ideal size for concealability, for concealed carry, for CCW use. Don't carry concealed if you don't have a CCW permit, because the penalties are too severe. Firepower, it holds 7 rounds, 6 in the magazine, 1 in the barrel. Has 64% one-shot stops. On one of these big, like Sanao tests, experiments, or whatever like that, they did. If you shoot somebody with a 380 in major torso, head area, whatever like that, not in a little finger, you're going to have a chance of one-shot stops of 64%. 2/3 of the time, they're going to stop doing whatever they're doing. The other third is probably somebody that's unwise, extremely agitated, or on drugs. Okay, ergonomics. Now, the ergonomics on this gun, I think it's really great because it's so small and petite and everything like that. They even give you an extra finger groove on the bottom of the magazine to hold on to. If this extra long trigger pull right here bothers you at first, just getting used to the idea of thinking about it as you shoot it like a squirt gun. You pull the trigger, you let the trigger back, your finger back out all the way. You pull the trigger, you let your finger back out all the way, at least until the trigger totally resets. You do that way, it's not difficult, it's not hard, and you'll get reliability on trigger pulls. There's no safety on this gun. All the safeties are internal. There's no external safety on this gun. The safety is you not putting your finger on the trigger unless you want to shoot the gun. That's true with all firearms. You don't put your finger on the trigger until you're ready to shoot the gun. In addition, I posted all the important information on the printout here, so that if you want a quick reference, you can go to it and not have to listen to the video all over again. There's a thing called Condition 3. Since this gun doesn't have external safeties, you can do what the Israelis do, if you wish, and that is they keep the magazine loaded but the chamber empty. Whenever they pull the gun out to fire it, they automatically work the slide to put a bullet in the chamber, and then they're ready to fire. It's not a bad solution, and according to other experts, the Israelis are able to do it, and with practice, very little time is lost. And it's a much safer condition when a lot of people are handling guns in close proximity to other people handling guns. This gun, carried every day, you're going to wear the bluing off the slide. Cosmetically, it looks awful, but it's really not that harmful to the gun. The frame here, the black plastic, also same thing. You're going to get a lot of wear and tear on the frame, and it's going to look like hell after 2 or 3 years as far as cosmetically. It's not going to hurt the gun necessarily at all. You do want to take the gun apart and clean it every now and then if you're carrying it a lot, just to get the lint out of it and things like that. But I would plan, if it were me, I would plan on just keeping this gun and using it and using it and using it until you use it up. It's like I wouldn't plan on investing a lot of money in repair and everything like that. If you wanted to, you could polish the slide. Polishing the slide costs about $30. I've got a guy that does that, and it looks great. They look like stainless steel when they get done. Or you could also buy the gun for about $30 extra with the chrome finish on it. Okay, I like mine. Don't take my word for it. Go to a gun range, borrow one, rent one, whatever you want to do. Shoot it, try it for yourself. Now, if the gentleman you're borrowing it from, or the range that you're borrowing it from, hasn't put 150 rounds through it to break it in, you might want to do that. So, or at least keep that in mind while you're shooting their gun. And that might be something, that might be another sales point. You can say, hey, this gun needs about 150 or 200 rounds to break it in. Have you shot yours 150 rounds yet? And the guy says, no. You say, hey, let's break it in together. I'll pay for the bullets. You're only going to be out $20 or $30 for bullets. He might even decline the offer of you paying for all the bullets. And you're going to have a good idea if the gun is the right gun for you. All right? Thanks a bunch. Oh, one more thing. If you've got any questions or answers or anything you'd like to propose, armorygallery@gmail.com. That's where I get my email. You can give me questions, answers, or whatever like that. And also, I'm in the business, Rod Beasley, I'm in the business of doing discount gun transfers. I'm the most reasonable gun transfer guy in the Las Vegas, Henderson area. If anybody wants a gun transferred, I'm going to get it done by me more reasonably than anybody else. Sometimes a tenth of what other people are charging. But thank you for considering me. Bye-bye.